Well, I'm Vic Slaughter. I live here in Lebanon, 83 years old. I'm a cotton picker.
What's that mean?
Means I pick cotton.
In
When it began to open, you started picking cotton. Like you say, you did it with your hand. Of course, your hands just got riddled. But the cotton burrs, they just stick all in you. And I mean, it's that. I never could pick much more than 100 pounds of cotton a day, and some of our people could pick 200 pounds, and you got paid by the pound. So you had to watch the pickers because they wanted to get out there early and get a lot of dew on the cotton, or they'd reach in and grab a handful of dirt and throw it in their sack. And so you had to watch them when they emptied their sacks, and they knew you were going to watch them, so that kept things pretty even. But we had some pickers who could really pick cotton, and I've got a cotton sack. It's one of the short ones. Some of them used 9-foot sacks, and they might sew in another couple of feet, and then when they'd pack it down in the morning, while they started early, that thing would just be a hard tube. It'd be 10, 11 feet long. Throw it on their shoulder and bring it to the wagon way up. And we raised watermelons, cantaloupes. One day, we shipped 2 trailer truck loads of watermelons that averaged 45 pounds. Of course, when it got where you couldn't sell them because the women couldn't take them out of the grocery store, my dad quit raising them. He wouldn't raise little watermelons at all. He just didn't like them. We started school the first Monday after the 4th of July, and we went into September. Cotton was ready to pick, so you picked cotton for September and October. Why, you were 7 or 8 years old, you picked cotton.
Is that right?
You didn't pick much, but you got paid a little. And you loved it when your grandmother came out there and she'd do her apron up, and she'd pick and fill that apron up, and then she'd give that to you before she left. And you started back to school in November. Well, my brother had made it so rough on me, she said, that they started me in November. And she said, of course, I was way behind in first grade. So I went from high first grade to high first. One of the odd things about that, we had a 60th class reunion or something. And I said, I'm the only person here probably that flunked first grade. One of my friends said, no, you're not. He said, I went to high first too, and I've been ashamed of it all these years. I said, Lord, I wasn't ashamed of it. Sybil used me as an example. She'd want to hold the kid back. She'd say, well, my husband flunked first grade.
That's cool.
Well, down there, we had a mixture of soils. We had gumbo, which was black like everybody. But then we had what we called sand blows, which was, I guess originally it was sand that had boiled up out of the ground, and it was sand, and it wouldn't hold water, and you'd have a good crop going here, and then they'd go down, and that was because it was sandy, and we called them sand blows. We had to live with those things. Everybody had tough goings, and if you had enough to eat, you could stay warm in the wintertime, and it wasn't as cold down there as it is up here. But no, we didn't have a lot of stuff. We wore a lot of times overalls to school, and then in the summer we'd cut the legs off and we'd wear the tops and the shorts. Our shorts were shortened coveralls. And but we didn't know any better, and everybody had the same fix. It was one of those things where families just kind of stayed together until my generation, and then we flew away like doves, you know. Probably the one that lived on the farm there, we'd go up there a lot of times on Sunday, and we'd have dinner outside. And that would be our family and both my aunts and their families, and we'd all have big lunch out there on their lawn, and you don't do that anymore, or I guess you do, but we didn't. And everything from fried chicken to mashed potatoes, and it just on those old country dinners, it was just everything, and it was all good because they were all good cooks. And back then, I don't know, you're not old enough probably, maybe you are. People a lot of times just spread a cloth over the table that they had food left on, and that's where they left the food. There'd be fried chicken and mashed potatoes, be everything under that cloth. You'd get in there in the afternoon, well, you could fill up again, and we didn't worry about refrigeration. And I don't know if anybody ever got sick.